See, the American people that we represent are losing count of the scandals that are mounting. The FBI has been involved. They've seen evidence that it's being used as a political tool of the Biden administration. They've seen counterterrorism resources being used against school parents, the homes of conservative political opponents being raided. They've seen conservative states being targeted over their election integrity laws, and conservative Catholics and pro-life citizens characterized as violent extremists.
Well, here now the congressman who said all that to FBI Director Wray at today's hearing. We welcome back from House Judiciary Congressman Mike Johnson. Congressman, you could see the FBI director not buying into what you were saying. From what you heard, is the FBI fixing its problems, Congressman? And how bad are they? Because the media, Democrats, they're again downplaying all of this and what lawmakers like you said, saying there are no problems.
Well, that's absurd. I mean, the director is not only not addressing the problems, they won't even acknowledge them. He had a bad day on Capitol Hill, Liz. We were asking very direct questions, and this is not our opinions. I quoted to him from the 155-page court opinion that came from a federal court in my home state of Louisiana on July 4th, appropriately, that said that, this is the words of the court, not Mike Johnson, the judge said that, looking at all the evidence, the FBI is directly involved in what may be the most massive violation of First Amendment rights in United States history. Director Wray just seemed unimpressed by that. He didn't seem like it was a top priority, and the American people think it should be.
Yeah, Congressman, to what you're saying, the FBI is involved in surveillance of Americans. That's what came out of the hearing, censorship. But it's at the same time, it's been accused of letting probes into the Biden family slide, stonewalling for Hunter Biden and Joe Biden, including on bribery charges, corruption. This is from government whistleblowers. Bank accounts from the Treasury show corruption, alleged. FBI suspicious activity, too. FBI informants talking about bribery. 17 audio tapes about that. Do you see the juxtaposition there?
Well, yes, and the people do as well, and that's why they've lost faith in the FBI. This is a critical problem for us. There was a poll that came out just last week that said only 37% of Americans now have faith in the Federal Bureau of Investigation. This is not a game. If the people lose their faith in our system of justice itself, and the most powerful law enforcement agency we have in this country, that we've lost an important foundational underpinning of maintaining a republic. There's nothing more important than this. And I told Director Wray today in our exchange that this ought to be the first thing he thinks about in the morning and the last thing he thinks about before he goes to bed at night, that the people have lost their faith in his leadership. We don't have a problem with the 38,000 or so FBI employees and patriotic field agents out there. We have a problem with the leadership of this agency. Something's got to change.
And we've got news coming in, breaking news. IRS whistleblower Gary Shapley and another whistleblower will testify at an oversight hearing on July 19th. Let's listen to what happened today. Watch this.
I'm sitting here with my father. I will make certain that between the man sitting next to me and every person he knows and my ability to forever hold a grudge, that you will regret not following my direction. I am sitting here waiting for the call with my father. Sounds like a shakedown, doesn't it, Director?
I'm not going to get into commenting on that.
You seem deeply uncurious about it, don't you? Almost suspiciously uncurious. Are you protecting the Bidens?
Absolutely not.
How many illegal FISA queries have occurred under your leadership of the FBI?
Well, there are reports that have come out with different numbers about compliance incidents.
More than 1 million illegal ones? Because that's what the Inspector General said. The Inspector General said that in the 3.4 million of these queries, more than 1 million were in error.
Did Joe Biden take payments from Burisma or any other foreign companies as vice president, president, or private citizen Biden?
As you may know, there is an ongoing investigation being led by the U.S. Attorney in Delaware, Mr. Weiss.
There is an ongoing investigation. U.S. Attorney David Weiss did admit to that, too, in a letter. What do you think of all that? What happened?
Well, listen, it was evasion, it was obfuscation, and all of that does is add to the frustration of the American people. I heard from constituents all day after that hearing. They are beyond concerned about all this. They're frustrated. They don't think that there's any accountability. We're limited in the scope of what we can do in the House. Of course, we only have the majority in one House of Congress right now. We have a slim majority at that. But what we can do is bring the truth to bear, lay it out for the American people to be able to make their decisions when they go to the election in the ballot box in this next cycle, because elections have consequences. The executive department Department, the President of the United States is the one that appoints these leaders. And that's the problem. We can't remove them from office. We don't really have that authority. We do have the power of the purse. And I think you're going to see that. You heard a lot of that today.
Yeah,
the FBI wants $1 billion new headquarters. They don't deserve that if they can't respect the most fundamental constitutional rights of the people they're supposed to serve.
And by the way, the FBI Director Wray already testified in April on a DOJ IG finding that the number of FISA surveillance searches on Americans tripled to 3.4 million. They've come down dramatically since. Let's get your reaction to a reporter confronting U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan about the DOJ charges against Gal Luft. Luft claims he gave evidence of Biden family wrongdoing. We're not going to get to the sound, but the Gal Luft story, he's now on the run. He's claiming he told the FBI and the DOJ in Brussels, Belgium in March 2019 about Biden family corruption, but there's a cover-up of that. Do you buy what Gal Luft is saying? There's no proof of what he's saying, but do you think it should be investigated?
Well, of course it should. It's just one more scandal, one more piece of evidence that is put onto this large pile now. Of course, I think he's a credible witness, and we're supposed to protect whistleblowers in this system. Obviously, this creates a big deterrence. They don't want others to come forward, and they're going to make an example out of this guy. That's what it looks like to us. And the burden is on them to show that that's not true. He's on the run because they're after him. I think that's right.
Got it. Congressman Johnson, thanks for joining us. Good to see you.
Thank you.
You're back with us now from House Ways and Means and the House Government Weaponization